what happens if wind hits a lone column? Is it going to tip over or is it going to stay? You need to understand how to calculate this for your exams. Today, we're going to do a really quick sketch it out. In this video, I went over overturning moment, safety factor for a wall. I highly recommend going and watching that. We're going to go over a very similar concept here, dealing with just a column versus a wall, but the principles are pretty much the same, but I really wanted to go over another example so that when you're taking your exams, if this pops up, you're not a deer in headlights and freaking out. You're going to know exactly what to do. Let's sketch. First, we have a column. Okay, this column is going to be 24 feet. Then we're going to have some wind acting upon it, 32. Okay, that's the pressure acting at midpoint. Okay, and then our footing width in the wind direction, this is going to be our base, 18 feet. Now, we want the minimum dead load, W. That's going to be our minimum dead load so that our safety factor is greater or above 1.5. Now, I do recommend going back to that other video if you need a refresher on safety factor and why we do 1.5. This is going to be a quicker video just running through this exercise, but in that video, I go into a little bit more detail about safety factor, ways to remember it, and some metaphors to help you remember during the exams. But let's just go through this one fairly quickly as an exercise so you can have it as a homework. Okay, so first we want to do our overturning moment. We are going to do MOT. Remember, this is our moment, this is our overturning force, and that is going to be equals P, our force, times our height. Now remember, these are pretty simple arithmetic. So when we can remember what this is, it'll be so much easier to figure everything else out. What is P? P is our pressure, our wind pressure pushing against this column. And what is H? Since our pressure acts at midpoint, H is not just going to be 24, right? Because that would be, if it were at the top, midpoint. So our H is 24 divided by 2 because it's the midpoint. Pretty basic, right? 12 feet. So our MOT is simply 32K. Remember to put your units so that you remember what the final units are going to be. 12 feet, which equals, what is it, people? 384. Remember, the reason why we wrote our units, so we know what the final units are going to be. What are the final units? Yep, kip feet. That is the moment overturning, the overturning moment, the amount of weight that's going to be forced upon this that is going to make this column fail. So now we want a safety factor. We want to make sure that this is safe enough so it's not going to overturn. So our safety factor is 1.5. Now we need to multiply that by our overturning moment. So we're just going to do 1.5 times 384, and that's going to give us 576 kip feet. All right. Now we need to figure out the restoring moment so that if the dead load on the base is equal to something, then you're going to meet that standard. Okay. This is going to be our 18 feet. Restoring lever arm is B. All right. Now that's the centroid. So the centroid is the center force. So restoring lever arm is B over 2, which equals 18 over 2, which is 9 feet. So this is what we need to understand the minimum dead load of this wall. Okay. So we're going to have our dead load, our weight. So our weight minimum, the minimum dead load we can have is 576. Remember, we got that here, kip feet, divided by 9. This is, again, why do I add the units? Because we have kip feet divided by feet, so what happens to the feet? They cancel out, right? So 576 divided by 9 is 64 kips. You want to do those units because as you're going through it, you can be like, what the hell am I even calculating? Like, what is going on here? But when you do the W min equals kip feet divided by feet, and you cross those out, all of a sudden your answer gives you kips, and you know what kips is, right? It's a force, it's pressure. So you know that whatever the answer is has to do with that pressure. So you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm figuring out what the weight is, what the dead load is of that column to prevent it from overturning, what it needs to equal. So that's why you really want to focus on the units, because it's going to help you understand what you're even doing. Like you look at this and it can just be like, I don't even know what even is happening. But when you can remember that and you can remind yourself of that, it just simplifies it. It makes it so much easier. So if the dead load on this base, on this, acting upon this column is 64 kips or more, then you meet the safety factor, because you know that that safety factor is included and you're good. See, really not that complicated. You can get a problem that has some of the information and it's asking you, hey, what's the minimum weight of this column that needs to be? And you're like, I have no idea. But if you remember it like that, you remember the simplicity of, you got this pressure on this column and you need to have a certain amount holding down that column. It can't be the exact same as the overturning moment, because then it'll just overturn. It's got to have that safety factor. Then you'll be able to easily calculate it. And then it's just some really simple algebra. Nothing that you can't do. Don't even need a scientific calculator for it. Remember, wind tries to tip and weight sits. In the last video, I made the analogy of you sitting down in a chair and your friend trying to push you over. Just remember that. Super easy. Let's talk about a couple common traps that might happen. Again, units. Make sure you always have units. If they give you a question in kip feet and then the answer is in kip inches or something like that, just remember, if you're doing all your calculations in feet, you need to then calculate it for inches, right? You want to make sure that that's a really, really easy way to trip up. So always include the units, because especially if you're going through like a long calculation and halfway through, again, it's not going to be a complicated calculation. It's not going to be very hard. Just take your time and always include your units so that you can cross out, they can equal each other, all that kind of thing. Another common trap is forgetting that 1.5 safety factor. We always want to make sure we're beefing it up so that it's not going to fall over, it's not going to overturn. And also picking that wrong pivot point. Remember, if it's a uniform load, forces acting upon it, it's going to be that midpoint. Okay, now it's your turn. Let's do a little practice and then leave your answers in the comments. We can workshop through it. I can go in and I can help you out if needed. I will pin the comment so that you can use it as homework. Save this so that when you're going through your study sessions, you're practicing for PPD, PDD, you can come back to this and remember it, and then you can pass that section of the exam. You'll remember it if you do the practicing during the exam. It will come back to you because you're listening, you're seeing it, you're writing it, you're doing it. It's the best way to study. Okay, let's do yours now. Okay, we got your column. Your column height is going to be 20 feet. Your wind point load is 26 kips. Remember, this is your P because it's your pressure. It's your wind, your base, 14 feet. So part A, find W min. Remember what W is, right? Our dead load, our weight. So find W min, make sure your SF, your safety factor is 1.5. And then part B, if W, which is your dead load factor, equals 70K, what is SF? What is your safety factor? Screenshot that, take a picture, do what you need to do. If you are studying for your exams, which you probably are if you've gotten this far, make sure you have our free ARE resource library. I'll leave a link down below. This is an awesome hub where I have all of my free resources, documents. I have some little pop quizzes in there, all sorts of stuff, ARE tips, just like so much amazing stuff. If you want to go deeper and you want more content, you're ready to pass your exams, definitely make sure you're inside ABC Club. This is our full content hub to help you pass your exams. ABC Club Premium is where we have live coaching. We go through everything like how to analyze the questions, how to handle exam day, what's the best exam strategy, what's the best study plan, what exam should I take, how do I calculate this, anything. It's the best. Inside ABC Club Premium, we have Coaching Highlight Vault where we have like 200 hours of coaching, of study sessions, of practice questions, and really awesome stuff. So go get inside ABC Club or ABC Club Premium if that is the right fit for you. And then if you haven't yet checked out the first video where I calculated the overturning moment on a wall. Definitely make sure to go check out that now and subscribe for more content like this. Also, let me know if there's something specific, a calculation or a topic that you would love explained more. My goal is to simplify some of these complex concepts so when you're sitting in your exams, it comes easily. It's not such a foreign language, and you can pass easier and become a licensed architect. Okay, awesome, so fun. I will see you in the next video, and I'll see you in the comments. Give me all your answers. Okay, talk to you later.